Women are facing hell on earth for destroying the lives of men. So we can see what the results of feminism are. We can see how far things have fallen. Men are walking away from Western society and relationships in Western society. They're focusing on their passions, their happiness. They're building home gyms. But furthermore, they're also becoming more conservative, which is something that has a lot of people very, very afraid.
Response, they are becoming conservative in record numbers. Ricky Schlott just wrote in the New York Post, teens go against the grain, and the most rebellious thing a young person coming up in the ultra-progressive era, when left-wing politicians are shoved down their throats by their schools, marketing campaigns, and celebrities, can do is swing to the right. Senior editor for Reason, Ravi Suave, joins us, also with our partners at The Hill. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you. You think this is a real move by young men to be actually conservative, or is it just sort of, as Ricky points out, rebel against whatever they're being told?
I mean, I do think it's both. They are rebelling against a kind of ideology on the left that holds them responsible for all the world's failings, that doesn't offer them anything. It offers women something. It offers people of all kinds of minority backgrounds something, saying we're going to improve society. You've been disadvantaged in the past. And there's nothing wrong with that, nothing incorrect about that, but it's not offering anything to a lot of young men whose...
So if you're a young white guy...
Yeah, what does it have for you?
In high school or college, you are sort of forced to atone and apologize. And as you point out, you're not being promised anything. Conservatives say, hey, look, here you go. Political identities of 12th grade boys, 23% identify as conservative. That's more than, what, almost double those who identify as liberal. And what's interesting is among girls, it's sort of the opposite.
Yeah, and you can't downplay the Jordan Peterson effect here, frankly. The right has figures that are offering something to young men, saying, here's how you can improve your life and be a person of worth in a world that has ideologies that no longer value you. And that means something to them. And like you said, their cultural institutions, wrestling, sports, etc., some of them have taken on an increasingly conservative cultural bent that is drawing them to the ideology. It's a real pronounced thing. And, you know, being bullied or harassed or called out in class for disagreeing with your teachers about politics or about COVID. Think of all the COVID policies that I think are associated with liberals and Democrats and the left that resulted in school closures and mandate sports teams getting, canceled for years. All that stuff being on hold has had an effect.
All right, so here is some of the TikTok videos that now have permeated, and obviously that the left isn't very happy with.
During 2020, when America got really politically intense, and my teacher, she was very politically active, and she wanted us to speak our voices, and they found I was conservative, and they said, okay, you're completely going against what we believe. Like, the whole school is very liberal, and I guess they just kind of pushed me away.
So how much of this newfound conservatism among young men is actual traditional conservative values, Ronald Reagan, Shining City on the Hill, small government, on and on, versus an own the libs populism?
I think it's more the latter. The views you described have kind of fallen out of fashion on the right more broadly. Now we're not even just talking about kids. Donald Trump represented a break from some of those policies, a very different foreign policy from what came before him, and at least, changing on trade. I don't think if you ask these kids, how do your trade policies differ from traditional republicanism, they're going to have much of an answer.
What's your feeling about tariffs for China? Yeah, that's not really.
That's not going to happen.
So this is a cultural social conservatism of anti-what?
Of anti-political correctness is what we used to call it. Now we use the word woke because it's one syllable and easier to say. It's a rebellion against the idea that you shouldn't be able to speak your mind. It's calling out the hypocrisy of people, many of them on the left or in liberal progressive circles, who said, we want everyone to feel comfortable and safe and speak up and make your voice heard. Not you, not if you have to say that. They're sick of it, and they're reacting to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. People do not like being called racist and told you can't say what you want.
Especially for being rebellious teenagers the way everyone was. It was never branded a social malady. It was just part of growing up.
Yeah. Who knew that wearing a MAGA hat would be like smoking dope?
Yeah.
In the 60s. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you, my friend.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find news.
So what's very interesting about these points is that not only is this permeating with white young males, it's also permeating with males of all different backgrounds. And it's quite interesting. One thing that is crazy for me is sometimes I watch these videos online, and you'll have videos where a guy will go around and he'll ask, to rate this guy, or what kind of guy are you looking for? And you'll ask Asian women, what kind of guy are you looking for? And they'll say, okay, I want an Asian guy. Cool. And then they'll say, what kind of Asian guy do you want? Oh, he needs to be at least 6 feet tall. Okay, 6 feet tall. And he needs to have this quality and this quality and this quality and this quality. And I'm sitting here thinking, bro, you're not going to find that guy. And like sometimes they'll like even pull up like a calculator. The guy doing the interview will pull up like a calculator and he'll go, okay, so we're gonna plug in all the characteristics for the guy you're looking for, and yeah, he doesn't exist. There's like a 0.0 chance of finding that guy, and the girl will just laugh. And it's like they know they're delusional, but they don't care. They're living in their delusion, and as a result of this, what you have is you have men of all different backgrounds, ethnicities, everything comparing notes. This is something that's never happened before. This is the power of the manosphere. You have men from every walk of life. You have doctors, you have garbage men, you have janitors, you have lawyers, you have every man from every walk of life, from every country comparing notes. And this is what women don't this is what women absolutely despise. This is one of the reasons why they're going after, the gaming industry right now, and they're saying that, oh, we need to police the kind of speech that's happening in gaming. No, the reason why they're going there is because they know young men in general, are now going to these spaces and conversing in these spaces, and they are afraid of men speaking to one another. They are afraid of men speaking in places about their issues and expressing themselves and connecting with one another, because when men come together, that creates unity, that creates discussion, and then that basically creates a barrier for those who want to control us to that creates a barrier for them. Women don't seem to realize what they've done. They don't care. They're facing hell on earth right now. If you look at, the lifespans of women, Gen Z women and younger millennial women have the lowest lifespan of all women in the last 100 years. They are more likely to pass away from a variety of different things, including childbirth, than women born almost 100 years ago. So in 1928, how is this possible? For example, how is it possible in 2024 that a woman's risk of mortality is higher than a woman who was born in 1928? This is madness. Absolute and utter madness. And it's not just mortality during, when they're giving birth. Oh, no. It's just in general. It's right across the board. And of course, no one can explain why this is suddenly happening. There's a variety of different reasons, but even before the events of 2020, Gen Z was already looking old. And it's the bad lifestyle that these people are living. They burnt the candles at both ends, and they came out thinking that, hey, we're going to rule. All of these women who decided that they were going to go and get these degrees and they were going to act like men and be better than men. They're 40 years old right now, and they're crying on social media, trying to flex like they're so happy by themselves, and they're not. What they're doing is they're trying to bring other women down with them, and to validate the craziness that they've done. What's amazing? What's amazing is this: when you have men who've learned their lessons, they come to the manosphere and they tell other men, don't do this. Do not do this. If you do it and you mess up, all right, don't say you weren't warned. They tell men, don't make my mistakes. They say, I was an idiot. Don't rinse and repeat what I did. Women don't do that. They don't turn around and tell young women, listen to me, I messed up. Don't do what I did. I joined feminism, I got into feminism when I was in high school, and I went down this path. And when I got my medical degree, I chose not to get married, not to have children. I prioritized my career. Now I'm 41. My health is not the greatest. I can't, dating is very difficult at this age. I have no time, and I can't find anyone that actually wants to have a meaningful relationship with me. And I'm absolutely miserable. All I want to do is become a wife and a mother, but it's at this age, it's a geriatric pregnancy. I will likely never have children. I will likely never have a family. I will likely never get married. And the only kinds of guys that are talking to me, they only want to, they'll go and they'll get in bed with me, but they won't actually marry me or be serious. And I'm only going, and the kinds of guys that may marry me, a lot of those guys are just opportunists and they want to use me, including Pedro, who will do anything and everything to get that green card. But they don't tell young women this. They tell young women how wonderful their lives are and that they should do exactly what they did. All right. This is the insanity, absolute insanity that we're facing right now. I don't know if you know this, but there are these apps now that you can use, and it's called, it's not clothes remover, it's clothing addition, where they'll literally take women who are scantily clad and they'll use AI to dress to add clothing to them. Like this is the new reality we live in, where there's such a rejection of the society, of what women have become in society, and women they refuse to even focus on the facts that there's no bailout coming. Men are not going to bail you out of this, and big daddy government, you think big daddy government is going to save you. Good luck with that. By the way, guys, don't forget I have a channel called Angry, where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, whatever else interests me. There's a link to it in the description of the video, so go check it out, subscribe, support my work. But yeah, I mean, women are facing hell on earth for destroying the lives of men. What do you guys think about this? I want to hear your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men Walking Away. And cheers.